I am so happy today because it has finally started to cool off where I live. And we have rain and it's cold and my car says it's 49 degrees and there's clouds and it's not hella sunny and I'm loving it. I always forget every year how much of a difference the weather makes as far as how well I feel, because when I'm hot I'm nauseous and I'm tired and I have no energy, and it makes my syncopal episodes worse, and it's a bad time all around every summer. But I am just absolutely celebrating the change in the weather, and you know, despite the fact that I've been having a rougher time as of lately, the weather is a little break that makes it all a little easier to deal with, so I'm happy. So it is currently 12:30 in the afternoon and I'm on my way to my follow-up appointment for the Occipital Nerve Blocks that I got a week ago. And I'm not entirely sure what it is that I'm looking for in this appointment, because my plan is to basically go there and tell them, so not only did that not work, it actually made it worse. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because although it sounds weird, if we are using it as a diagnostic tool, we can say, okay, well, since it made it worse, most likely it may have something to do with this. And so by it not working, it may have given us more information. My fear is they're gonna go, well, I don't know what else to tell you, you're gonna have to wait for Stanford. So I am more prepared for the second option than the first, because I'm so used to them just kind of sticking it to me, but I'm gonna cross my fingers and everything's gonna turn out fine, but we're gonna see. Something I have to bring up in this appointment is that I'm currently on personal leave from work because I had 2 syncopal episodes that ended up sending me downstairs, aka the ER, and I had made the decision that that was not cool. So thus far I've been on personal leave to see if this occipital nerve block would work, and since I don't believe that it has, and my NCS symptoms have actually gotten worse over the course of this past week, over the course of the last couple weeks, the thought right now is, well, what do I do next? Because in order to stay on personal leave, I have to get another doctor's note. And part of me is kind of wondering what the hell I'm supposed to be asking for, or for how long, because unfortunately it's not like, oh yeah, you know, you broke a bone, it should be good in 4 to 6 weeks, you know. I really don't know how much time I need off, or when my symptoms are going to improve enough that I can go back to work, if they do. So something I'm going to have to think about is talking to my doctor and basically going, oh, okay, so 1, what's the plan since this didn't work? And 2, who do I need to talk to in order to extend my personal leave? You know, is that something that I go to my primary for? Is that something I can go to you for? Because I haven't worked long enough to have FMLA as an option at my work. Personal leave is all I got. So I kind of have to do the song and dance in order to make sure that everything is kosher as far as making sure I have all my ducks in a row for work. So we shall see. I'm going into this appointment not really knowing what our next step is, because what they had spoken to me about was only if the occipital nerve did work. If it does work, we'll think about doing the spinal cord stimulation idea, which I talked about in my last video. But they didn't really talk about what would happen if the injections didn't work. So I'm kind of apprehensive as far as what they're going to bring up, if they bring up anything, and kind of where that leaves me as far as what my options are. So that's also something to think about during this appointment. Something you're probably wondering is what I keep saying that I have been getting worse, that my symptoms have been getting worse. But what does that mean, getting worse? Well, getting worse for me has been, if I'm outside the house, walking pretty much anywhere, I've been having to use my cane just because I feel like gravity has been turned on to about 12, and I tend to be more wobbly. I tend to kind of act, it looks like I'm drunk, just because my body is struggling so hard to stay upright. And so I've found that using the cane makes it to where I'm a lot more stable and I'm not bouncing off of displays in stores, and I'm less likely to have the manager follow me around. And also, worse means that not only have I been using my cane on a regular basis as of lately, I've also been using my wheelchair on a semi-regular basis, where if I think that my shopping trip is going to take longer than 5 minutes, I've been taking my wheelchair in, and I bought some gloves to protect my hands, just because I've been pushing myself around by myself for long enough that my hands need a little bit more protection than if I was just wheeling every once in a while. So as far as mobility goes, my mobility isn't that great, and my stamina is not that great. So in the last few weeks, over the course of the last month and a half or so, I've gone from working and having to be a struggle to going to Target and wheeling around Target be a struggle. Even with being in a wheelchair, I still come home and I am still tired, and I am still pretty zonked out afterwards. So things have been interesting. But I am currently outside the hospital building now, and so I have to go and walk in. But I will give you guys an update on how it goes, and cross our fingers.
So I finished my doctor's appointment yesterday, and he basically said, well, that didn't work, so we're going to do some Botox injections. So they're going to be doing Botox in my head, neck, and shoulders to see if that helps, because I guess it's something that they do for migraines. And if that doesn't work, then they're going to do a nerve ablation of the occipital nerves on both sides of my neck. So we'll see what's up, but Botox is next, so hooray for me. What 23-year-old doesn't need Botox?